Hello, and thanks for tuning in to another edition of International Trade Focus. Now, last week we brought you highlights of the UK Africa Summit, which was hosted by the UK's Prime Minister Boris Johnson in London. Now, this week we'll be bringing you highlights of the Ghana Investment and Opportunities Summit, which was organized by the Ghana Investment and Opportunities Summit Committee in collaboration with the Ghana Investment Promotion Centre and the Ghana High Commission UK. Now, these and many other summits are efforts by the government of Ghana to foster stronger business relations between Ghana and the outside world. We can't proceed without saying special thanks to the sponsors of this program. International Trade Focus is brought to you by Ghana Free Zones Authority. They say sharing good fortunes, and supported by GOIL Good Energy, ADB, Truly, Agric, and more. International Trade Focus is also supported by Peduase Valley Resort. My name is Anna Spio. Stay tuned for this episode.
Your business concepts and investment must be harnessed through a hassle-free and highly thoughtful process to make them globally competitive. That is precisely the mission of the Ghana Free Zones Authority. Ghana Free Zones Authority packages Ghana's enabling business and investment environment with endless benefits. Total exemption from major taxes and levies for first 10 years. Talk to us now about our business oasis created all over the country. Acres of industrial enclaves for all sectors. Our beneficiaries are in vibrant business, exporting finished and processed factory inputs all over the world. And what do our clients call us?
Partner.
Ghana Free Zones Authority, sharing good fortunes.
Breathtaking picturesque views, the essence of tranquility recrafted. What's your desire? A romantic expedition, syndicate sessions, banquet and conferences, or a discreet weekend getaway? Just name it. It is exclusively packaged for you at Peduase Valley Resort. Every spacious rooms, ultra-modern gym facilities, games, indoors, terrace and lawn restaurants and lounges, cozy private dining, and all the swimmer's paradise. Aquaba, any day, all year round to Peduase Valley Resort. The acts of serenity, skillfully served.
Here's innovation from GOIL that takes you further. New GOIL Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes have been expertly crafted with the latest in liquid engineering technology, highly advanced for modern engines, prolongs oil change intervals, save you fuel, clean, protect and enhance engine performance. The way engines work has become complex, and GOIL has innovated to stay ahead with expertly crafted lubricants that work excellently with all petrol and diesel engines of today. New GOIL Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. Innovation that takes you further. GOIL. Good energy.
Are you an importer or exporter? Do you need quick financing at the best rate on the market? ADB has good news for you. Walk into any agricultural development bank location nationwide for that solution to all your trade financing needs. ADB offers you pre-financing of exports and imports, post-shipment credit facilities, bank guarantees, the issuance and acceptance of letters of credit, documentary bills for collection, outward documentary collection. Enjoy free advisory services from our well-trained, dedicated trade officers. Exporters of agricultural products are encouraged to take advantage of this great service. For further enquiries, call us on 0302 210 210. ADB, making trade finance easy. ADB, Truly Agric, and more.
A warm welcome back. You're watching International Trade Focus. Now, up next is some highlights of the Ghana Investment and Opportunities Summit. Now, the Ghana Investment and Opportunities Summit was organized by the Ghana Investment and Opportunities Summit Committee in collaboration with the Ghana Investment Promotion Centre, GIPC, and the Ghana High Commission UK. The President of Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, gave the keynote address at this event. Other speakers were the Minister of Finance, Honorable Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta, the Minister for Trade and Industry, Honorable Alan Kyerematen, and the Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, Madam Shirley Ayokor Botchwey. There were several other speakers and several other sessions at the Ghana Investment and Opportunities Summit. Take a watch.
Partner Ghanaian businesses for a win-win outcome.
The London Stock Exchange agreeing to enter into partnership with the Ghana Stock Exchange.
Ghana is fully committed to the implementation of the AfCFTA,
leading to the issuance of a $3 billion Eurobond in the coming days to finance key projects to generate growth, create jobs, and support the country's development.
we can actually now transform ourselves into global players. We invite you to grow in Ghana and grow with Ghana.
I would like to express my profound gratitude to our sponsors, especially the title sponsor, Ecom Ghana, and our platinum sponsor, Ghana High Commission, and all the numerous sponsors, Exim Bank, National Lottery Authority, Fidelity Bank, and all our numerous sponsors. We thank you very much. Without your funding, this summit wouldn't have been possible. Your Excellency, the theme of this year's summit is accessing the African common market through Ghana, technology, digitalization, and industrialization. This summit was initially planned to receive 250 people, and like the Finance Minister's Eurobond offers, we have been oversubscribed. We have registered over 500 people as at the close of registration last week. This shows the level of interest investors have in Ghana. Mr. President, distinguished delegates, with a rising global interest in doing business in Africa, the decision to locate the headquarters of the African Common Market in Accra gives us the leverage and the impetus to deliver our next ambition, becoming truly the gateway of Africa. We must recognize today the considerable efforts that the Office of the President and the Ministries of Trade and Industry, as well as the Foreign Ministry, have devoted to bringing this potentially transformational prize home to Ghana. In order to realize the vision of accessing the common market through Ghana, the summit will be looking mainly at 5 priority areas for investment. That is agric and agribusiness. We'll be looking at information technology, we'll be looking at manufacturing, infrastructure, tourism, and hospitality. Over the next 2 days, the presenters and panelists will speak to their personal insights, lessons learned, opportunities to be gained, and the challenges in which we must invest policies, time, money, skills, technology to step up from being a sub-regional number 1 to becoming the service provider for the entire continent. Mr. President, one of the notable quotes you used 3 years ago at your inauguration was, "I am a Ghanaian." In 1915, a young man from what was then the Gold Coast, called Kwame Taylor, became a broker and delivered his first consignment of cocoa beans to the United Kingdom. Within 2 decades, Kwame Taylor had diversified his business, and he had purchased the lease of a 3-story building in London to serve as his headquarters. Mr. President, in 1925, he tried to raise a loan of £100,000 to finance the cocoa crop of the Gold Coast. Kwame Taylor became a one-man international commodities exchange. He was the agent of business that traded. He was the agent of businesses that traded in Africa, across Europe and Asia, in gold, cassava, palm kernel, mahogany, leather, and glassware. In 1929, Kwame Natrila was the only African importing cement into the then Gold Coast. Mr. President, in selecting speakers, moderators, and panelists, the Planning Committee has been mindful to present today in this room the 21st century versions of the Gold Coast merchant Kwame Natrila. We have the pleasure to bring together some of the biggest, brightest, and most ambitious men and women, indigenous Ghanaians, experienced, passionate, and ready to do business with the United Kingdom and the world. We have also presented some of the top global giants who do business in Ghana to share their experiences. Mr. President, you also said famously, "I am in a hurry." The United Kingdom stands at a crossroads post-Brexit. This country, with whom Ghana shares a long history, presents today an opportunity to set our collective narrative in trade, investment, and cultural exchanges. What we seek and what Ghana and the United Kingdom both deserve is a new, sustainable, equitable, and informed relationship. There is proven local content and substance in Ghana, and there are opportunities in the United Kingdom to deliver, for instance, a transformational hub powered by technology and digitalization. This summit is particularly also excited and look forward to further details from the Finance Minister about the impending initial public offering to securitize mining royalties, and also further details on the proposed diasporan bond. By this singular move, Ghana will be seeking to leverage its natural resources today for future growth. Ghana's wealth of natural resources, a well-diversified export profile, a highly educated workforce, an independent judiciary and press, as well as a dynamic economy, makes undoubtedly one of the leading lights of Africa. We are in a hurry also to get the fundamentals right. Governance and compliance, sustainability, grow green, grow fast, and grow together. Mr. President, I am a Ghanaian, speaks to people and investors at home here in the United Kingdom and the wider diaspora. The views and experiences may well differ, and those nuances are important. And we must hear, learn, and work with them, which is what this summit is all about. Your Excellency, Ministers of State, Captains of Industry, CEOs, and distinguished delegates, these are the messages and tenets of the two-day summit. Before I take my seat, Your Excellency, I would like to pay tribute to the organizing committee of this summit for putting together such a splendid and well-organized investment promotion event. Ayiko, as we say in Ghana. It is my singular honor as chairman of the planning committee and also a member of the governing board of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center to welcome you all to the Ghana Investment on Opportunity Summit 2020. I wish you all a very successful and engaging summit. May God bless our homeland, Ghana, and long live the Queen.
Well, good morning. It's fantastic to be here again because I was lucky enough to be here the first time 2 years ago. And Your Excellency, it's wonderful to see that such is the attraction of Ghana that the 250 has turned into 500 plus, standing room only in this room filled with energy. Yofi, thank you so much for that introduction. It's a privilege for me, as the Investment Minister of the United Kingdom at the Department for International Trade, to see and have the opportunity to meet so many leading figures from Ghanaian business and indeed, of course, politics. And I'm delighted to welcome President Nana Akufo-Addo to London today, alongside such a senior delegation with the Minister for Foreign Affairs, the Minister for Finance, and the Minister for Trade and Industry. with whom I've just had an excellent bilateral conversation this morning. As I say, to be here 2 years on from that first event, to see the momentum that is growing is a great privilege for me. And it's an opportunity to reflect on, once more, on your nation's plans to transform your economy, and highlight as well the British capabilities and expertise that I hope can help supercharge your growth over the years ahead. Because it's, for the British members of the audience here, it's worth noting what a remarkable economic success story Ghana is, even within the context of an African continent where so many economies have expanded at an incredible pace over the past decade. Ghana has exited the IMF program, maintained fiscal discipline, and delivered strong growth. And this success has been driven by oil production, but also by Ghana's increasing financial services reach, together with your fast expanding international trade ties with partners, including Britain. Our bilateral trade was up by a staggering 20% last year, standing at £1.3 billion. But that just indicates the massive potential for future commerce between our nations. And as has been said in the introduction, yesterday's Africa Investment Summit, which I spent some months helping organise with colleagues across government, was a restatement of the UK's commitment to Africa. And you like a recognition that we need to do more. We've got to do more to bring the opportunities that Africa offers to British business and British society more to the attention of people in the UK and foster partnerships going forward. So yesterday, as far as I'm concerned, was very much the beginning of that reset rather than the end of any process. Critical infrastructure projects are springing up across Ghana, forming the solid foundations upon which your long-term growth and industrialization can be forged. And in many ways, this great economic change is symbolized by the stunning new terminal planned for Kumasi Airport, colorfully painted like a giant kente gown in the distinctive patterns of the Ashanti region. Its space-age design embodies both the richness of your country's unique cultural heritage and its commitment to a high-tech future. Now, like many of you, I'm a seasoned international traveller. It comes with the job of being a trade minister. But normally I'd count myself lucky if there's somewhere in the airport to grab a decent cup of coffee, and queues for security aren't horrifically long. But what makes this super modern engineering project special, partly, is that at the heart there's a partnership between the UK and Ghana. A British firm, Contractor UK, is helping to turn this plan into reality with financial backing from the UK government. And it reflects the optimism, ambition, and entrepreneurial zeal of the Ghanaian people. Through our award-winning export credit agency, UK Export Finance, Britain is providing £40 million worth of financial support for Contractor to help build the project. Another £110 million of UKEF support is going towards the construction of a state-of-the-art 750-bed maternity unit at Kumasi's teaching hospital. And this shows our determination to pull out the stops and support British firms to carry out key infrastructure schemes such as these in Ghana and throughout Africa. An ambition underlined yesterday by Prime Minister Boris Johnson when he announced £620 million worth of funding to support British exports to nations across the African continent. And that brings UKEF's total financial commitment in just the last 2 years to £2 billion. Britain is one of the biggest investors in Africa, and UK firms are right at the forefront of developing new business ventures across the African economy. But we are determined, and yesterday's summit and our support, sir, for today's excellent event is a sign that we want to go further and are ambitious to do more. Now, of course, this progress is particularly to be observed in Ghana, where companies such as Blue Skies, a UK investment backed by CDC, employs 3,500 people, exports juices to the UK. Large British institutions such as Prudential and Standard Chartered are also working with Ghanaian partners to grow their businesses significantly and so contribute to Ghana's success. From textiles to tea, chemicals to cocoa, machinery to medicines, fish to pharmaceutical products, trade and investment between our nations is dynamic, varied, and deeply entwined. There really hasn't been a better time to trade with and invest in each other's economies. Now, we are a global leader in the UK in innovation and sustainable infrastructure, one of the priorities highlighted earlier on. Britain offers precisely the kind of world-class capabilities and expertise required to help Ghana and other African nations tackle many of the key challenges to economic development. British firms offer a network of excellence in design, master planning, project management, and financing, together with cutting-edge professional services from accountancy to legal advice. The City of London is the world's preeminent centre for cross-border finance. It's the world financial centre, and investment from London can help provide access to the funding firms need to kickstart innovative infrastructure projects that are changing lives for the better across Africa, as well as making, of course, those airport experiences both more pleasurable and more inspiring. The British government is determined to deepen and strengthen the commercial bonds between the UK and Ghana through the Strategic Economic Partnership Agreement our two nations signed last May. This ambitious initiative is already leading to new opportunities, with the UK's National Mapping Agency, Ordnance Survey, for example, discussing a deal to develop a fully digitised map and land registry of Ghana, and the London Stock Exchange agreeing to enter into partnership with the Ghana Stock Exchange. So this fast-expanding economic relationship between our two countries is also being honed and focused by the UK-Ghana Business Council, which has brought our governments together to find ways to reduce barriers to trade and drive growth. Now, the UK, as has been referred to, is just days away from leaving the European Union and embracing its new role as a truly independent, outward-looking, free-trading nation. And in that circumstance, we will strengthen our ties with Ghana, as well as other fast-growing economies globally. Now, as one of Ghana's most famous sons, Kofi Annan, the then UN Secretary General, said nearly 20 years ago, open markets offer the only realistic hope of pulling billions of people in developing countries out of abject poverty. So it's only open markets that offer that hope. And that's why I'd like to praise the government of Ghana, and indeed you, sir, as president and leader, for its work in recent years to lift barriers to international investment, including through its national digitization program and your ambitious vision of a Ghana Beyond Aid. UK businesses are already helping to deliver Ghana Beyond Aid, such as Aqua Africa, which is a project aimed at raising thousands of people out of water poverty, or BHM's work to help upgrade the Tema Aflo Highway. We want to support the Ghana Beyond Aid initiative and support your vision, sir, of becoming the most business-friendly economy in Africa. Now, I think 2019 was a good year for Ghana, with thousands of people from your global diaspora visiting for your year of return and celebrating what modern Ghana has to offer the world. But you know what? 2020 promises to be even better, because Ghana is set to become the new home of the African Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat, and your nation is one of the leading markets for trade and investment in Africa. The vibrant economic partnership between Britain and Ghana goes from strength to strength, but the challenge for us now is to prioritize our efforts and be honest with each other about where we can do more and work towards clear, common priorities. The UK-Ghana partnership has vast potential. So let's work together, keep pushing the boundaries of economic change so that we can embrace this great period of transformation in the global marketplace and do it together.
If you just tuned in, you're watching International Trade Focus. On today's episode, we are bringing you highlights of the Ghana Investments and Opportunities Summit that was held in London, geared towards attracting more investors into the country. We'll be right back after this break.
Your business concepts and investment must be harnessed through a hassle-free and highly thoughtful process to make them globally competitive. That is precisely the mission of the Ghana Free Zones Authority. Ghana Free Zones Authority packages Ghana's enabling business and investment environment with endless benefits. Total exemption from major taxes and levies for first 10 years. Talk to us now about our business oasis created all over the country. Acres of industrial enclaves for all sectors. Our beneficiaries are in vibrant business, exporting finished and processed factory inputs all over the world. And what do our clients call us?
Partner.
Ghana Free Zones Authority, sharing good fortunes.
Here's innovation from GOIL that takes you further. New GOIL Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes have been expertly crafted with the latest in liquid engineering technology, highly advanced for modern engines, prolongs oil change intervals, save you fuel, clean, protect and enhance engine performance. The way engines work has become complex, and GOIL has innovated to stay ahead with expertly crafted lubricants that work excellently with all petrol and diesel engines of today. New GOIL Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. Innovation that takes you further. GOIL. Good energy.
The Ghana International Trade Fair Center, under the auspices of the Ministry of Trade and Industry and the Ministry of Agriculture, presents the 24th Ghana International Trade Fair. This fair, under the theme Value Addition Trading Globally, comes off between February 27 and March 8, 2020. It will showcase an array of goods and services from over 600 exhibitors over a 2-week period at the Aliu Mahama Sports Stadium, Tamale. There will be varied on-ground entertainment, food and beverages, and a permanent playground to make every visit to the fairground a rewarding experience. For bookings and registration for the Ghana International Trade Fair to be held in Tamale, call 0555 153 955 or 0555 528 817 or 0244 469 451. You can alternatively register online at tradefairgh.com, and you can also send emails to gh-tradefair@gmail.com. The Ghana International Trade Fair 2020. Value Addition Trading Globally.
Welcome back once again. If you just tuned in, this is International Trade Focus. Now, we are showing you highlights of the Ghana Investments and Opportunities Summit, which was held in London, organized by the Summit Committee in collaboration with JIPC and the Ghana High Commission UK. The President of Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, was the keynote speaker at this event. There were several other sessions and several other speakers. Continue to watch.
Partner Ghanaian businesses for a win-win outcome.
The London Stock Exchange agreeing to enter into partnership with the Ghana Stock Exchange.
Ghana is fully committed to the implementation of the AfCFTA.
Leading to the issuance of a $3 billion Eurobond in the coming days to finance key projects to generate growth, create jobs, and support the country's development.
We can actually now transform ourselves into global players. We invite you to grow in Ghana and grow with Ghana.
I'm happy to be back in London again, and was glad that yesterday I had the opportunity to lead Ghana's delegation to the UK Africa Investment Summit, an event that went very well. This morning before coming here, I had the honor to witness the signature of a memorandum of understanding between Ghana's fledgling stock exchange and the London Stock Exchange, the most famous and arguably the most successful stock exchange in history. Hopefully, this new partnership will help the rapid growth of our economy and also of our new relations with Britain in the post-Brexit era. I'm grateful today for the invitation to be part of the 2020 edition of the Ghana Investment and Opportunity Summit, an event in its second year which has already acquired a positive reputation for facilitating partnerships between Ghanaian and British companies and creating a common platform for that objective by generating ideas and nurturing them into success. The organizers of the summit are to be warmly commended for this. The theme chosen for this event is relevant and sums up the current aspirations of Ghana and Africa. Accessing the African common market through Ghana, technology, digitization, and industrialization. Ladies and gentlemen, when I accepted the responsibility on behalf of the government and people of Ghana to host in Accra the Secretariat of the African Continental Free Trade Area, AFCFTA, it signaled the completion of the processes to create the world's largest free trade area since the formation of the World Trade Organization. We expect the Secretariat to be up and running by March 2020 for trading to begin in the free trade area by July this year. It also reiterated the desire of the 54 African member states of the African Union that had signed the agreement for the coming into effect of the AFCFTA to work with a common voice and a common purpose to exploit the abundant wealth and resources of our great continent for the benefit of the African peoples. We know that the success of the AFCFTA would mean that the era of low volumes of intra-regional trade that have defined the activities of African economies will come to an end. Up till now, trade between African nations has remained low compared to other parts of the world. In 2000, intra-regional trade accounted for 10% of Africa's total trade and increased to 16% in 2015. Intra-regional trading in 2015, for example, amongst members of the European Union amounted to 70%, stood at 52% amongst the nations of Asia and 50% amongst the nations of North America. Surely, an increase in intra-regional trade in Africa is one of the surest ways to promote the progress we seek for Africa. It should guarantee a rapid increase in exchanges of our agricultural, financial, industrial, scientific, and technological products, which would enhance dramatically our attainment of prosperity and the prospects of employment for the African peoples, particularly our youth. Our economies will then be shaped not by the production and export of raw materials, but by the things we make and grow. Unfortunately for us in Africa, we continue to travel along the worn path of limited success of being producers and exporters of raw materials, a relic of our past colonial association. We are now required to think outside the box. Our thinking and approach to solving problems must be different from the thinking and approach that brought about the problems in the first place. As the experience of the successful countries in Asia and elsewhere have shown, in addition to creating an atmosphere for the private sector to thrive and create jobs, government has a very important and positive role to play in spurring industrialization and economic transformation. Ensuring that businesses are up and running, promoting access to the capital that will keep the wheels of business moving, maintaining macroeconomic stability, making available public goods such as an efficient bureaucracy, a strong adherence to the rule of law, and a fair and equitable social system in health and education delivery are some of the major responsibilities of government. The government of Ghana is addressing each one of them to ensure that as hosts of the Secretariat of the AFCFTA, we're properly positioned to be the hub of trade in Africa. Firstly, in order to garner the fruits of the AFCFTA and to realize the vision of a Ghana beyond aid, our first order of business has been to continue to ensure the maintenance of macroeconomic stability to facilitate the growth of Ghana's economy. Over the last 3 years, key economic indicators, which were in disarray prior to my assumption of office, have all been pointing in the right direction. We have ensured an average GDP growth rate of 7% over the last 3 years, compared to the 3.6% we inherited in December 2016. Reduced inflation from 15.4% in December 2016 to the single-digit figure of 7.9% in December 2019. Restored fiscal discipline by bringing the fiscal deficit down from 9.3% in December 2016 to 4.5% today. Furthermore, we're managing the economy in a manner that is guaranteeing pragmatism in mobilizing and deploying national resources. An efficiently managed economy, together with the continuous maintenance of a business-friendly climate, are essential towards driving investment into Ghana and stimulating growth and creating jobs. Secondly, we're accelerating the process of the structural transformation of our economy. Government is fully committed to addressing productive capacity issues through initiatives such as the One District, One Factory, 1D1F policy, the development of strategic anchor industries like the integrated bauxite and aluminum industry, the iron and steel industry, and automotive policies to spur on the creation of vehicle assembly plants, the establishment of industrial parks, and the program for agricultural renewal, enhancement, and diversification we have dubbed Planting for Food and Jobs. It is this transformation that will give us the best opportunity to derive the greatest value from our abundant natural resources and from our participation in the AFCFTA and help bring progress and prosperity to our people. Fortified by the deliberate steps we are taking to educate our young people to be responsive to the needs of the 21st century world of work. We're refocusing our education by placing greater emphasis on technical, vocational, and educational training, TVET, and science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STEM education. Widening access to education and providing our youth the skills and knowledge to compete successfully in the global economy of the 21st century are what will enable us obtain maximum benefit from our youthful population and permit them to realize their potential from their hard work, their sense of enterprise, creativity, and innovation for the rapid development of our nation and continent. Thirdly, to achieve optimal results from the AFCFTA, we're putting in place the needed physical infrastructure. Government is investing in trade-related infrastructure in order to facilitate trade. The ongoing expansion of the Tema port, which upon completion will make it one of the biggest ports in Africa. The simultaneous expansion of the Takoradi port, as well as the development of numerous road projects and railway networks, are all testaments of government's resolve to leverage new market opportunities on the continent. The overarching aims of the measures to harness the benefits of the AFCFTA are to develop and expand our economy and create sustainable jobs for our youth. When our youth decide to trek the Sahara on foot and brave the stormy conditions of the Mediterranean, it is in search of jobs and opportunities which do not exist in large quantities on the continent. It is estimated that by 2050, Africa will have the largest number of young people in the world, i.e. some 900 million. This means that African countries, including Ghana, will have to find sustainable ways of creating jobs other than relying on the limited absorption capacity of public sector employment and on the production and export of raw materials. To do this, we need the private sector to take advantage of agreements such as the AFCFTA to expand production both in industry and in agriculture and take the lead in the socio-economic transformation of our country, as others have done elsewhere. It is my strongly held conviction the government has to assist this process by fashioning and implementing a comprehensive set of policies that will empower the private sector to achieve its goal. Appropriate fiscal, monetary, financial, energy, exchange rate, tariff, and non-tariff policies must be coordinated to enable Ghanaian enterprises to be competitive and, where possible, achieve comparative advantage. Even though currently we are the largest recipient of foreign direct investment in West Africa, we should do more to attract even greater investments. We need, inter alia, to streamline the large proliferation of agencies and departments that local and would-be foreign investors have to deal with. And to that end, we're taking steps to cut down on the bureaucracy. We have also made a specific number of interventions to reduce the cost of doing business, reduce the stress associated with setting up businesses, and formalize the economy. The e-business registration system, the paperless port clearance system, the digital property addressing system, the mobile interoperability payment system, and the national identification card system are helping to quicken the pace of change to bring us into the technology-driven era and make our businesses competitive and thereby attract the requisite investment, foreign and domestic, to spur on our country's economic transformation. We're determined to take advantage of the digital revolution in all spheres of our national life. We're creating the space for the private sector to grow the jobs that our young people need. I'm working towards building a Ghana that is working to create jobs for her people and affording decent lives for her population. Ghana is endowed with great potential, and it is a country where security is assured, where the rule of law is upheld by an independent judiciary, and where investments are protected in law and in fact. We want to participate in the global marketplace at the high end of the value chain for Ghanaian products. We want to bring greater dignity to the lives of millions of people in Ghana, and we want to build a Ghana beyond aid. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, let me restate that Ghana is fully committed to the implementation of the AFCFTA. With a collective desire for shared prosperity, we are confident that the AFCFTA will succeed and offer a new impetus and dynamism for the rapid growth of Africa's economies and deepen the process of integration in Africa. Empowered Ghanaian enterprises should be frontline actors in this new exciting journey in Africa's economic history. We owe to generations unborn to ensure that the biggest trading bloc on the globe, whose outcomes will be rewarding to all and which will assist in attaining the Ghana and Africa we want, does not falter. May God bless our homeland, Ghana, and us all. And I thank you for your attention.
Partner Ghanaian businesses for a win-win outcome.
The London Stock Exchange agreeing to enter into partnership with the Ghana Stock Exchange.
Ghana is fully committed to the implementation of the AfCFTA.
Leading to the issuance of a $3 billion Eurobond in the coming days to finance key projects to generate growth, create jobs, and support the country's development.
We can actually now transform ourselves into global players. We invite you to grow in Ghana and grow with Ghana.
You are watching International Trade Focus. There's more after this break. Don't go away.